Hi there guys, it is me Mr. Fossil and I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to make a continuation to my last Princess Connect Redive video. My last video on Redive was made back in 2 months ago. It basically focused on how Pecorine and Karyl in episode 10 of season 2 were forced to fight one another and how Karyl was restrained by her, and how I think Pecorine should have went for the mask, which was believed to have controlled Karyl to do horrible things. But today we're going to focus on the bigger picture of this episode. Was Karyl really a traitor? Like, did she actually want to do the things she was doing? We all know the story. In the beginning of episode 10 of season 2, Karyl abruptly appears out of nowhere, attacking the Guild of Diablos and kidnapping its members. Karyl seems to have sided with her master, whose name is Kazar Insight, aka Mana Senri. She seems to be working with her, because she was a spy for her at one time. Kazar's plan is to basically destroy the kingdom of Landsol, and she plans on using Karyl as her weapon. Karyl sides with her, and decides to unleash evil shadowy spirits to basically wreak havoc upon the city. She basically agrees to take part in what we would call a mass homicide. Karyl's friends are very confused at this, especially Pecorine, who is one of her closest friends, and they unfortunately have to go through a very heartbreaking battle. Pecorine tries to reason with Karyl, but that does not work, unfortunately, and, Pecorine gets seriously injured by Karyl. Towards the end of the episode, Karyl tries to resist her master's orders in unleashing the final attack, which will kill everybody. But Kazar does not take no for an answer, and she pulls the strings literally, using her as a puppet for her own bidding to unleash the final attack. Karyl at this begins to yell, scream, and beg Her Majesty to stop. But to no avail. Karyl's mask falls off of her eyes and she begins to weep, begging for somebody to destroy her so no one else gets hurt. Pecorine manages to stop the attacks, and Karyl begs Pecorine to save her, and Pecorine vows to do so, along with taking back her kingdom, for Pecorine is the true ruler of Landsol. She is Princess Justinia. Kazar's a fake. But overall, was this whole event of her own free will? Like, did she actually want to kill people? Or was there something else going on that we do not see? Today we are going to discuss this, and I'll give you my thoughts and my opinions based on what I see in the anime and what I think and how I feel. But before we go into that, we must examine Karyl's character in general. Karyl is a member of the Gourmet Guild, which contains 4 people, which includes her, so it's technically 4. We have Yuki, who is a mysterious young man, Kokoro, who is an elf girl, and Pecorine, who is a knight, aka Princess Justinia. Karyl is one of my favorite characters from Redive, and in matter of fact, she's my waifu. And she is a cat girl, she's a beast folk, and she's also a sorceress, being able to control monsters and animals. But despite her fun times in the Gourmet Guild, she actually secretly works for Kazar, the Queen of Landsol, or the false queen, because she's not the true ruler. She took over the kingdom. Kazar basically takes care of Karyl, and Karyl reveres her as the most perfect individual there is. Karyl was tasked with infiltrating the guild and possibly to kill Pecorine. One such attempt of murder was in episode 2 of season 1, where Pecorine has to get her sword back because 2 thieves stole it, and those thieves got kidnapped by a dragon. Karyl's plan is that she's going to help them out and use the dragon, using her spells, to basically eliminate the Gourmet Guild and kill them all. But her spell backfires and the dragon goes after her. Pecorine, however, comes to save the day. Several times in the series, Pecorine actually does in fact save Karyl from trouble. Throughout the series, Karyl's relationship with Pecorine drastically changes. Karyl, being a spy, actually doesn't like Pecorine. She thinks she's annoying, childish, and dumb, but Pecorine actually loves Karyl as a friend, and considers her a sister, in a way. Despite Karyl's harsh attitude, she secretly deep down cares for Pecorine as a friend, and everybody else in the guild. You can see the look in her eyes and the look on her face whenever Pecorine compliments her or gives her a hug. Their relationship slowly molds into that of two sisters, and Karyl truly chooses Pecorine over her master. You know, she likes being with the guild and she has fun. You know, she'd rather be who she wants to be with. Karyl truly yearns for happiness. Karyl, however, also wants to build a better relationship with her master, Senri, or Khazar. She truly wants to be revered by her, and she wants to be nice and caring to her. It's not just a dilemma of being a spy, but it's also a dilemma of who to choose to be with. Her evil master, or the princess, the real princess. Karyl throughout the series would often visit Khazar to report her status with the group. And sometimes she would be there to basically get attracted to her, or basically to talk to her. But sometimes she would be uneasy with her master's plans, like she doesn't like it. For example, Khazar summoning shadow beings to attack villages and stuff like that. You know, Karyl's not good with that. She doesn't like that, personally. Karyl several times has betrayed her master due to her true feelings for her friends and the others around her. She is not somebody who wants to hurt anybody, she just wants happiness. She wants someone who cares for her, and that person is Pecorine. And she has betrayed her master due to these feelings. And these feelings of love for each other are very emotional. Like, I actually feel that. Like, two friends being like sisters. It's very powerful. But that friendship truly was challenged in episode 10 of season 2. Because Karyl was a spy all along and they never knew about it. And this is truly a heartbreaking battle for both of them. But this all leads to the question, was Karyl really a traitor? Like, did she actually want to serve Her Majesty? Did she actually want to basically try and commit mass homicide? Or was there something else going on? I'm going to discuss why I think we should put it in the gray basket. In episodes 8 and 9, Pecorine tells her friends her virtual identity. She first tells Kokoro, but episode 9, she would like to tell Karyl. And she tries to find the time to do so, so she plans on doing it at a fair, where the whole group and guild has fun with each other. But she never finds time to do it. But despite all the fun going on, we also get a slice of action. Within the walls of the Great Castle, one of the minor characters, Labrista, who seems to watch over Yuki a lot and knows a lot about the kingdom, actually has a fight with Khazar. And this fight is pretty epic, but the ending of it is truly sad. Towards the end of episode 9, Pecorine, in the guild house, wants to tell Karyl her true identity. So she knocks on her door of their bedroom. And then right when Karyl is about to answer, Karyl mysteriously teleports to the scene of the battle. And is used as a meat shield, so Labrista does not kill Khazar. But this does not end well. Throughout Season 2, we get glimpses that there are two Khazars, and the second Khazar actually stabs Labrista through the stomach, killing her. And Karyl, seeing this, lets out a blood-curdling scream of terror and tries to reach out as her friend falls into the black abyss. Now you may question, how did Karyl get to that spot? Well, earlier in Season 2, when Karyl visited Khazar, Khazar gifted her with a very nice silver or engraved ring. And when she got that ring, she cherished it. But that ring was used for deception. For that ring brought her to the scene of one of her friend's deaths. She was kidnapped against her will and used as a meat shield because of it. And from there, she mysteriously reappears, siding with her master. Now, I want you to keep something in mind. When she was kidnapped was the evening of episode 9, and she reappeared the morning of episode 10. That is several hours. We do not know what happened within the walls of the castle after Karyl was kidnapped. Her master could have tortured her, manipulated her, or put a spell on her to control her and use her as her own little doll. We don't even know what happened. So saying that she is a traitor, to me, is not really a good excuse. Like, yes, I can see Karyl sort of shows no mercy to anyone, but she could be being forced to do all these horrible things, and we don't know it. And then there's another piece of evidence I'd like to share with you. Of course, like earlier, Karyl resisted her master's orders and was used literally as a puppet against her will to basically try and kill everybody. And this made Karyl truly upset. This truly shows who Karyl really is. Deep down, she is a caring person who doesn't want to cause any harm to anyone. She just wants happiness and wants to be with her friends and not serve some evil ruler. In episode 11, there's even more evidence that Karyl might not be a traitor, and even in the season finale, Pecorine has to try and get Karyl back. And in order to do so, she has to battle a puppeted version of Yoon, who is a knight and commander in the castle. Luckily, she breaks free from the spell, like Yoon does, and they work together. The two girls work together to actually save Karyl and bring the kingdom to justice. After the long battle, Karyl slips out of her strings after being so weakened and unconscious due to all the magic into Pecorine's arms. And when she awakens, she finds Pecorine smiling, and Karyl tears up and hugs her. I'm going to skip the whole entire ending sequences of Season 2. I'm going to skip all the fights and stuff. I'm just going to say it. Pecorine gets her kingdom back, and she gets to hug her parents. Her parents are the king and queen, the real king and queen. So basically, they are reunited, and everybody is happy in the kingdom. Especially Pecorine, since she got it back. And this is a very emotional scene. It's very happy. Like, good for Pecorine. It's very happy and joyful. Karyl is free from Khazar now, and now gets to be with her friends. No more lies, no more divided duties, no more manipulation. She can finally have peace and happiness with the Gourmet Guild. She can finally be with the people she loves and cares for. But in episode 12, Yoon is not the only one who was puppeted in episode 11. But in episode 12, we find out Librista is still alive, Khazar is still alive. And another character named Nanika was also used as a puppet. So Khazar was using Librista and Nanika as puppets, and luckily they're broken free of. Just like Yoon was broken free of. They had spells on them controlling their minds and bodies. This could have been same for Karyl. Karyl could have been under a spell this whole time, and she finally broke through and, became normal again, resisting her master and joining her friends. But her resisting her master costed her to be puppeted literally by strings, but truly we may never know what went on within her head. Was she truly a traitor? In my opinion, it's in the gray basket, but based on what I see in the anime, I think she wasn't. She was forced and manipulated, or she could have been under a spell. But now, it's all peaceful. Karyl is free to be with her friends, and to be with her so-called sister, Pecorine, the one who truly cared for her. Khazar is now in jail. But overall, Karyl is a good person at heart, but she just was brainwashed, manipulated, mentally enslaved to her false admirer. Khazar is nothing but a cold-blooded murderer. She is not somebody who you would like. But Karyl was fooled and abused by her. But now, that's all over. But now Karyl is free to go on more adventures, fighting more monsters, going on quests, and trying all these different kinds of foods in the Gourmet Guild. Everything is happy once again. And hopefully, just hopefully, Karyl will no longer be deceived and manipulated by her master. She is now free. But what are your opinions based on what you have seen in the anime? Was Karyl a traitor, or was there something secretly going on? Karyl's whole situation was sad and it was very emotional, and it was something that brought me almost to tears. But what are your thoughts on this cat girl's story? Let me know in the comments below. And that is all for today, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. Stay safe and well, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.